to another week of the Fatu Show.
Based on sit-down interviews with principal producer Fatou Sane Cissé and senior producer Tijan Jane, having spent 1 week in the Japanese capital Tokyo through a recent and maiden exchange program facilitated by the national broadcaster and Osaka TV. Uncle Ndeiku Mademba, who conducted the interview, could not help but admire the unparalleled access given to our colleagues to travel and meet the people and see what others did not know about Japan and its cultures. Above all, some issues elucidated by Tijan and Fatou are uniquely Japanese. You're watching Weekend Spectrum on Grts, a program that captures human interest stories in and outside the Gambia. Don't go away.
Thanks for joining us. Well, there has been an outpouring of solidarity messages and special prayers for the iconic South African former leader as he responds to treatment at a hospital. Nelson Mandela's larger-than-life character and his sense of humility made him very adorable. As the international community continued to pray for his speedy recovery from his recurring lung infection, Weekend Spectrum examines a special documentary on the life and times of Nelson Mandela and his electrifying personality.
Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela began his life herding sheep and cattle in the rolling hills of South Africa's Eastern Cape. In his autobiography, part of which was written secretly while in prison, Mandela wrote, "I was not born with a hunger to be free. I was born free."
Our production crew recently returned from Tokyo in Japan after successfully making insightful tours around Japan's elite places. We asked Fatou Sane to shed more light on what the mission was all about. Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this special segment of the Weekend Spectrum. Today, I am privileged to be with two distinguished personalities in the studio, which is very rare, quite rare, I must say. And these are people who do not actually need introduction. She is Fatou Sane Cissé, and of course, he is Tijan Jane. But before we begin this interview proper, we will give you a mini documentary on Japan and its sophistication as a country.
Japan is one of the wealthiest countries in the world, riding on the back of a highly sophisticated information technology revolution, which continues to marvel many countries. The Asian tiger is now consolidating the gains recorded and is also opening up to outsiders. In this edition of the program, Ndeiku Mademba sits down with Fatou Sane Cissé and Tijan Jane to discuss Expedition Japan.
And today, Fatou Sane Cissé, you've been to Japan. You've spent almost a week there on a cultural exchange program. How was the program in Japan, and how fruitful was your stay during the 1 week?
Thank you, Ndeiku Mademba. Actually, it was just like bringing the world closer to our viewers, because in Japan, we studied the cultural aspects of the people of Japan, and which was quite interesting and fascinating. So I'm sure the viewers learned a lot from this Expedition Japan.
Well, thank you very much, Ndei. As Fatou rightly mentioned, we really focus on the cultural aspect And then along the line, we discovered that there are certain cultures that we share, that you can see the similarities. For example, when we visited this family,
the family structure.
Yeah, you see the family structure, and that of ours is almost the same. You know, the respect that people have for their parents, and then when your parent or parents get old, it's now the responsibility of the first child to take care of the family. So you know, there are so many similarities.
Family structure.
Yeah, that we have. But equally also, they have other differences that we have, and a striking one was when we visited the public bath. Now,
Public bath.
yes, a public bath in Japan is just like they have this place where, you know, they normally go to take bath, right?
Publicly.
Yes. Publicly.
Public.
Yes. So at that place you have section for men and another section for women. And then here, what is so striking was that you see people of different ages, right? People like 70, 75 years, 30 years. And I was told that, you know, sometimes people even bring their own small, you know, children to come and take bath. And here they have to, everyone have to be naked.
Everyone is naked on the public
Yes,
bath.
irrespective of your age.
Yes.
Yes. And there you don't go in with a singlet or either a boxer or anything. You know, you just have to go.
Swimming costume.
Yeah. No, that is not. So that was why when I wanted to experience the whole thing, I have to seek permission so that they can allow me to put on a shirt, because actually it's not part of our culture to go and take, you know, and then at one point when I get inside the pool, because you have different pools, you know, the water was really warm. You know, it's just like when I went in first time, I have to jump out because, you know, it was terrible. And there was this old man who was sitting next to me, so relaxing, and then, you know, I can't even bear it. I have to turn and ask, old man, how can you resist the heat? Because I'm young and you're virtually old, and but you're just so relaxing. And it was just like, you know, we are used to it. And this is a tradition that they have been practicing for like 100, 200 years ago.
Almost 300 years.
Yeah.
Is there any significance attached to the public bath?
Yeah, at one point I asked the same question to one of them, and then, you know, the response was like, one, it helps them to socialize, right? Yes, they come together and socialize. Because Japan is one place where, unlike ours, where, you know, you have so many social interaction. So this is one avenue where they come together to discuss, and, you know, equally also to relax, and then even to meditate. You know, so it availed them that opportunity. And traditionally, if you look at the Japanese housing system, and you discover, especially,
very
you know,
congested.
their houses are really small, and even their bathrooms are really small. So it's an open place where they can come and just, you know, relax, and then, Okay. When I first entered the first school, I moved to the other one, which was a bit colored one, and it has this honey scent sort of, right? Yes, that was equally, you know, very relaxing, and, you know, they believe that it has some healing, you know, health aspects also, yes, attached to it.
Well, dear, and I guess that must have been pretty much interesting. Public bath, I cannot imagine that anywhere. But anyways, it is Japanese culture, and I bet it was interesting to watch. But coming back to you, I've seen you taste quite different delicacies, especially when you talk about, especially fish on the expedition to Japan, which I must say was quite interesting to watch. It was interesting, and it was very educative as well. So tell us about some of the delicacies you've got to taste, especially when it came to fish, because I saw different fish in many different ways.
Okay, because Japan is an island country, so they're fond of eating fish a lot, and the sushi is the...
What's sushi?
Sushi is the raw fish that Tijan ate. You saw Tijan eating the sushi, raw fish. That's raw tuna with rice dipped in soy sauce. So they're fond of eating that because it's part of their diet and it's part of their culture. And